Today, we will talk about how to buy an apartment building with no money. Let's have a look at the details. Buying an apartment or any other property often requires a considerable down payment, which can make it very difficult for first-time buyers to get onto the property ladder. There are a number of ways to attempt to secure a property with no money down, including negotiating a higher purchase price in exchange for no deposit, and getting a separate loan to make the down payment. Think carefully about the best deal for you, as the overall cost of a no-money down deal is often higher than a standard deal. The first method is finding no-money down property deals. Negotiate a low down payment. With any property deal, the down payment is part of the negotiations. Your bargaining position will depend on your credit rating and your financial situation, but there is a chance that you will be able to negotiate a lower down payment if you can make a strong argument. Assume an existing mortgage. You may be able to negotiate to assume an existing mortgage. This will involve taking on responsibilities for all outstanding payments without necessarily making a down payment. Investigate lease-to-own options. A lease-to-own arrangement involves the buyer leasing the property from the seller for a set period of time before then purchasing the property outright. The purchase price will be agreed upon as part of the initial negotiations, but you will not have to make a down payment when you move in. Propose seller financing. Seller financing can sometimes be agreed upon if the seller owns the home outright, has no outstanding mortgage payments. This kind of deal involves the seller becoming the mortgage holder and the buyer becoming the title holder. The second method is considering alternative ways to buy a property. Exchange properties. If you and the seller are interested in exchanging properties, you may be able to negotiate a deal with no down payment. It can be rare to find a straight swap for property, and you may have to include some cash if the value of the property you are leaving is below that of the property you are buying. Use non-cash assets. You may be able to agree to a deal with the seller to use non-cash assets instead of making a down payment. This will depend entirely on the seller, but there are instances when such a deal could be agreed. Use private financing. A common way to purchase a property with no money down is to use private financing. You may be able to borrow the money from a friend or family member, or you may be able to get a separate loan from a financial institution. If you can get a loan to cover the down payment, you can buy a property with no money down, but with more debt to pay off. Refinance an existing property. If you already own property, look into refinancing the property. You might also be able to get an equity loan or line of credit on the property. These options are usually cheaper and easier to get than a new loan on a separate property. Talk to your current bank or mortgage lender to see what your options are. And the third method is using government financial support programs. Apply for a VI loan. If are you eligible, you can apply for a loan from the Department of Veteran Affairs. These loans guarantee purchase mortgages and don't require a down payment from the buyer. Consider a Navy Federal Credit Union loan. The Navy Federal Credit Union is the largest credit union in terms of assets and membership, and it can provide 100% property loans to members who qualify. Eligibility is limited to members of the military, some civilians who are employed by the military, and those who work for the U.S. Department of Defense. Investigate a USDA Rural Development Loan. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has a mortgage guarantee program that is very popular. Despite the name, these rural development loans are not restricted to farmland. Thanks for watching this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel if you like our videos.